Hey there, 8th graders. Welcome to today's Explainer. I gotta tell you, I am absolutely pumped to be with you today because we have finally reached, hands down, my favorite part of the writing process. You know, you've already done the heavy lifting, you've brainstormed your heart out, you've outlined all those great ideas, and you've drafted your paragraphs. Well, now we are entering the final polishing phase. Today's lesson is our Unit 5 writing workshop, and we're going to master editing by using a grammar and conventions checklist. This is the exact moment your writing transforms from a rough draft into a true masterpiece. But hey, before we start moving commas around and fixing spelling mistakes, I really want us to set our minds in the right place. Look, let's be honest, editing can sometimes feel like a chore, right? It's so easy to just think, man, I already wrote the paper, isn't that good enough? But take a look at this incredible verse. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord. That's Colossians 3:23. See, we aren't just editing to get a good grade on a rubric. We're editing because we are called to be master craftsmen. Taking the extra time to finish a piece of work beautifully, with true excellence and care, well, that's actually a way to honor our Creator. So here is our quick roadmap for today so you know exactly how we're going to conquer this together. First, we'll look at the real purpose of editing. Second, we'll dive into the editing checklist. Third, we'll practice fixing some common mistakes. Fourth, we'll do a quick lesson knowledge check. And finally, we'll wrap things up by talking about the godly learner. All right, diving right into section 1, the purpose of editing, or as I like to call it, polishing your masterpiece. I want you to imagine your rough draft as raw materials. Think about it like you just chopped down a tree, cut the wood, and built a dining table. It's sturdy, sure, and it holds weight, but it's completely covered in splinters. You wouldn't serve dinner to your friends on a splintery table, would you? Of course not. Editing is basically your sandpaper and your varnish. It's the final polish. So here is our working definition for today. Editing is polishing your work so it's correct, clear, and professional. It's that absolutely essential step that turns a messy, raw draft into a brilliant, easily understood message. When you take the time to edit, you are showing deep respect for your reader by making sure they don't have to struggle to understand what you're trying to say. Just think about a time you were reading a text message or maybe a social media post and it was just packed with misspellings. It's incredibly distracting, right? Careless errors act like massive speed bumps for your reader. They literally weaken the powerful message you are trying to share. By editing, you ensure your writing is completely accurate and highly readable. And at the end of the day, a polished draft makes a remarkably strong, trustworthy impression on whoever happens to be reading it. Let's keep moving to section 2, the editing checklist, basically your master craftsman toolkit. Every master craftsman needs a reliable toolkit. And as writers, these 5 steps are yours. You don't ever have to guess what to look for when reviewing your draft. You literally just have to follow this list. First up, check subject-verb agreement. Ask yourself, do my subjects and verbs match in number? Second, check your punctuation. Are your periods, commas, and question marks actually doing their jobs? Third, check capitalization. Are we respecting proper nouns in the beginnings of our sentences? Fourth, check your spelling. And fifth, check your sentence clarity. Read it and ask, does this actually make sense? By walking through these specific steps, you ensure your writing follows what we call standard English conventions, which are basically the agreed-upon rules of the road for the English language. Now, here is a massive pro tip. You absolutely must read slowly and carefully. When we rush, our brains actually play tricks on us. Your brain is so incredibly smart that it will automatically fill in missing words or even fix misspellings in your head without you even realizing it. Rushing leads straight to missed mistakes. Remember Colossians? Working with all your heart means intentionally slowing down, taking a breath, and giving your work the real time it deserves. Moving right along to section 3, fixing common mistakes. Let's do a little before and after makeover. Listen to this first example. The dog runs fast. Did you hear how incredibly clumsy that sounded when I said it out loud? We have plural dogs, but a singular runs. It just clashes. But listen to the correction. The dogs run fast. Ah, so much better. It is clear, it is satisfying, and it follows the rules of our language perfectly. Okay, here's a punctuation check for you. I like pizza and pasta and salad. See how that extra "and" makes you kind of trip over your own words? You can instantly clean that up with some commas. I like pizza, pasta, and salad. The commas act as these really gentle little pauses, organizing the list and making it flow perfectly for the reader. Now take a look at this capitalization check. Having a lowercase I and a lowercase y in New York City just looks really messy, doesn't it? proper capitalization, respects proper nouns, and the basic conventions of our language. Notice how the corrected version, with the capital I, N, Y, and C, instantly elevates the sentence to a professional standard. It tells your reader that you actually care about the details. All right, 8th graders, it's your turn. Section 4 is our lesson knowledge check. Let's do some interactive detective work. I want you to mentally put on your detective hats right now. Let's see if you can spot the clues and crack the case based on what we just covered. Number 1, what is the true purpose of editing? Think back to that table analogy. And number 2, give one example of a grammar mistake you should actively check for when using your toolkit. Got 'em? Well, editing is polishing your work to make it correct, clear, and professional. And for number 2, you could have totally said subject-verb agreement, punctuation, capitalization, spelling, or clarity. Let's keep this momentum going. Question 3. Why is spelling actually important in your final drafts? And question 4. What does that fancy phrase, standard English conventions, really mean? Well, if you remember, spelling is absolutely critical because mistakes are distracting speed bumps that weaken your message. And standard English conventions? Those are simply the standard rules we all agree to follow, like capitalization and punctuation, so that our writing is universally understood. Okay, now for the ultimate homework challenge. Question 5. I want you to look really closely and mentally rewrite this sneaky, messy sentence. The teacher give us homework every Friday. Look at it for a second. There are multiple errors hiding right in there. Can you spot the capitalization mistakes? How about the subject-verb agreement? Boom, there it is, the beautifully corrected sentence. The teacher gives us homework every Friday. Look at what we did. We fixed the lowercase t at the very beginning. We changed give to gives so the singular teacher matches a singular verb perfectly, and we capitalized Friday because days of the week are proper nouns. If you caught all 3 of those sneaky mistakes, incredible job. You are well on your way to becoming a true master craftsman of the English language. And that brings us to our final section for today's explainer, Section 5, the Godly Learner. Now here at HeroesMart Academy, we don't just teach you how to fix a sentence so you can pass a spelling test. We want to connect these academic skills to your real life and, way more importantly, to your spiritual walk. Take a look at this incredibly powerful truth from Romans 8:6-7. To be spiritually minded is life and peace. Guys, this right here is the core of true academic excellence. Excellence isn't just about knowing exactly where to put a comma. It is about keeping your entire mind centered on God, on His truth, and on His wisdom while you learn. You see, HeroesMart Academy purposely intertwines biblical morality with education for a very specific reason. Education without morality can actually hurt you, and it can hurt the people around you. Just being smart isn't enough. Learning to write perfectly and communicate powerfully is meant to equip you to make righteous, God-honoring choices. It's definitely not just about making you more capable or more successful in the world's eyes. Knowledge and intelligence, those are just tools. Keeping your mind spiritually minded, entirely focused on God's truth, is what guarantees those tools are used to bring life and peace to the world, rather than destruction. So, 8th graders, as we officially wrap up this writing workshop, I want to leave you with a really important question to ponder. Will you use your academic excellence merely to be capable? Or will you choose to use your sharp, polished communication skills to make wise, righteous choices that bring life and peace to absolutely everyone you interact with? Pursue academic excellence, polish those sentences until they shine, but above everything else, keep your mind centered on God. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer, and happy editing.